Good morning, dear children. I hope you all are fine and safe. And today we are going to continue lesson 5, the toy box. So far we studied that the family shifted to the new house. All were very happy in that house, but Tom could not settle in properly because whenever he went to the playroom, he heard many cries. So he heard the sound as somebody is crying. So as he heard it many times, he informed his family, his parents, but his parents could not believe him. They thought that he is just making excuses to grab their attention. Even Matilda was also very much annoyed from him because she was knowing that if he will keep on doing this, they will lose the chance to play in that room. But one day Tom was determined to find out the truth, to find out the mystery of this cry. He thought that he will not be screaming. When he will hear the sound, he will not scream, and then he will call. One day he did the same. He heard the cry, but he did not scream, and he called his family members. His mother and Matilda came in the playroom, and they also heard the same cry. And now we'll see in the chapter what happened further. Whose cry was that, we'll come to know in this part of the chapter. Dear children, first of all we'll see some difficult words in this part, that is coal bunker. Coal bunker means a storage area of coal or any other fuel, the place where coal or some other fuels are stored. Then dam proofed. Dam proofed means protected against moisture. Dam proofed means protected against moisture. Vivid means lively or colorful and fresh. Then the meaning of 3 iron, the word 3 iron we'll see. 3 iron means it's a type of golf club. Now dear children, be ready with your book and open page number 63 of lesson 5, the toy box. We will continue the chapter. Father entered the room at a gallop. What's going on here? He asked abruptly. What has happened? Then as they all were in the playroom, Mother, Matilda and Tom, they heard the cry and they all stood in complete silence there. They were eager to listen the same sound, same cry again, but they could not get the sound again. At the same time, Father also entered into the playroom, and then he asked them. He asked abruptly means suddenly he asked them what has happened here. He paused in mid-flow, noticing us standing in silence. Mother indicating with one finger to her lips for him to be quiet. As if in this line we can see what has happened. He was supposed to continue, but he stopped there because he noticed that all of them are standing in that room with complete silence, and even Mother also showed him the indications to be quiet by keeping finger on her lips. We left the room and proceeded in an orderly fashion to the living room, where Mother explained what had happened. Then in an orderly fashion, in a general way, in a common way, in a simple way, they all proceeded from there. They went to the living room, and there Mother explained everything to Father. Well, you wait here, said Father. When he had heard the story, I'll investigate. He said other members of the family to remain in the living room itself. He said that he'll go and investigate. He will find out. Father marched out of the room purposefully. With some intention, he marched out. He walked out from that room. After a moment, we heard the box being dragged over the wooden floorboards in the playroom. After a moment, after some time, they heard that the box, the toy box, is being dragged in the playroom. After a while, Father joined us again, and then again he came and joined them in the living room. Come with me, he said, going towards his golf bag in the hall. Then he called everyone with him and he went to the hall towards his golf bag. Golf bag means the bag in which the golf sticks and everything, other items related to the play golf are kept. I think it's high time we had a good look at the old storerooms and coal bunkers at the side of the house. High time means the correct time, right time. He said that it is the right time, it is the correct time for them to look at the old storerooms of the house and coal bunkers. Coal bunkers means the storage areas of coal. For coal at the side of the house, there was a storage area for coal. He said that it is the right time to see the storerooms and the coal bunkers. I found an air vent in the wall hidden behind the toy box. There was some small air vent, small space which was just hidden behind the toy box. We'll find out where it goes. He said that we'll find out where that air vent goes, and just in case I'm taking a golf club. And then he said in this case means if there will be for their safety and precaution, he took the golf club with him, the stick which is used for playing golf, that is called golf club. And then he said just in case means as a protection for them, he took the golf club with him. Father selected a 3-iron and led the way. 3-iron is a type of golf club. There are different kinds, there are different varieties of golf clubs, and he was having 3-iron golf club and led the way, swinging it in the air. He just took the golf club in his hand and he was swinging it in the air. We crunched over the gravel, passed through a narrow gap in the thick hedge surrounding the side garden, and approaching the part of the house adjacent to the playroom. We crunched over the gravel. As they were passing over the gravel, they were walking over the gravel, it made a crunching sound, and passed through the narrow gap in the thick hedge. There were the thick hedges, the boundaries of the plants or something. Then they passed through that way, surrounding the side garden. This hedge was surrounding the side garden. Clear? The garden was surrounded by this hedge. Hedge means the boundary of the small plants. And then they reached the part of the house adjacent. Adjacent means very near or next to the playroom. Now they were out of the house. Clear? They were out of the house, not inside. From out of the house, they went to the place near to the playroom. There were hundreds of broken tiles, old door and window frames, a rusting bicycle and other unwanted and broken pieces of furniture piled against the wall and scattered over the part of the garden. Outside the house, they could see many tiles, old door and the window frames and many unwanted things. The old rusting bicycle and broken pieces of furniture all were scattered here and there in very untidy manner. and some of the things were even scattered over the part of the garden. Some of the things were scattering in the garden itself, means the place out of the house was very much untidy, full of unwanted things. "We'll have to get all this rubbish removed," said father, picking his way through the debris. Debris means the remains or the wastage, waste things. He just made the way through that debris, through the waste things, and he said that we should remove all this rubbish from here. All this rubbish, the waste must be removed from here and the surrounding should be neat and clean. All this must have been cleared out of the house when it was renovated. What a mess. Then he said that when the renovation of the house was being done, they were supposed to remove all this, but it is not removed by them. Renovate means to restore the house in a good condition, doing some maintenance or repairing of the house. All this is called renovation of the house. We could see two windows low down on the wall and some steps leading down to what looked like a cellar door. Cellar door means underground room for storing coal or something else. Underground room for storage, that is called cellar door. They could see two windows low down. Two windows were very low down on the wall, and some steps leading down, and some steps were leading down what looked like a cellar door, what looked like a small underground storage type. The path to the door was clear, so it was obvious that someone had used the doorway quite recently. The path of the door was clear, though many things were scattered out of the house, but that path was clear. It means very recently that path, that way was being used by someone. Father clambered down the few steps to the door. Clambered means climbs with difficulty. He climbed down those staircases, those steps, and Mother Matilda and I stood at the top, wondering what he would do. Mother Matilda and Tom, they three of them were standing outside only at the top, and father was going down in underground room. Father rapped on the door with his golf club and called out, "Hello, is anybody there?" Then father rapped means knocked. With his golf club, he knocked on the door and he asked whether somebody is there in this room. There was no answer. He rattled the rusty doorknob and struck the door again with his club. Then there was no answer. When he asked, "Is anybody there?" there was no answer. Then he rattled the rusty doorknob. Doorknob means the knob which is used to open or close the door. That is called doorknob. Then he rattled. Rattled means to make sharp sound, the loud sound. He rattled the rusty doorknob and struck the door again with his club. Again he rapped or knocked the door with his golf club. Then he turned the knob and the door creaked open. Then he himself, when nobody opened the door from inside, he himself turned the knob and the door creaked open. Means creaked means with hard sound, with harsh metallic sound it was opened. The light from the open door and the windows on either side of it filtered into the room. There were windows, two windows, and when the door was also opened, the sunlight entered into the room. There were some movements inside, and father stood back with his club raised. And when he reached there, he found there were some movements inside, means somebody was present in that room, in that underground room. And father was just, he stood back with his club raised, means if in case of any situation, any condition, if he needs to protect himself, he can make attack or something, he can save himself. We could hear a tearful woman's voice, and outside mother, Matilda and Tom could hear woman's voice, and that was tearful, means somebody means woman was crying inside the room. Please sir, we don't mean any harm, sobbed the woman. Sobbed means cried. The woman cried and said to father that we are not here to harm anyone. Who are you and what are you doing here? Demanded father. Father asked her that who they were and why they were staying in this room. We have nowhere to live in, explained the woman. Now woman explained told him that they don't have any place to live in. We found this place by chance and moved in for shelter. She said that by chance, by luck we found this place and we shifted in this. We have been living here for some weeks now. From past few weeks they were staying in this house, in this place. Who is with you? Asked father. And father asked, are you all alone here in this room or somebody else is also with you? My little child, cried the woman, turning to look towards a cot. She turned and looked towards the cot and showed her child. She said, my child is also with me. She is not well, sir, because of the damp. She cries a lot, and my husband Jack has gone to the village to fetch her some medicine. She said that my daughter's condition is not good. She is sick due to this damp, due to this moisture, and her husband has gone to the village to bring some medicines for her. Fetch means to go and bring back something. So she said that her husband has gone to bring some medicines for her from the village. Well, the mystery of the mourning toy has finally been solved. For many days Tom heard the sound, the noise from the toy box. Finally the mystery was solved. Finally they came to know what is the actual sound, who is making this sound. Neither the sound was not made by the cat, and nor it was his imagination. I thought to myself as we stood there looking sadly at the wretched woman. Then I thought to myself as we stood there looking sadly at the wretched means miserable woman. Then he thought to himself, he remembered all those things, how he heard the sound of crying and how he screamed and what all imaginations he had. They will stop complaining about my vivid imagination now. Now also he thought that now the mystery is solved. All the members of the family know the truth, and now they will not complain about his Vivid imagination means his lively imagination. Mother took charge of the situation immediately. Immediately she took the charge of the situation. 1 month later, the child was gurgling with laughter on the sunny lawn outside the house. Then mother took the situation, the condition in her control, and finally let's see how this family was settled with them. After 1 month, they could see that small child was laughing and playing outside in the garden. The woman Frances was employed to help in the house. That woman was appointed to help in the house. Her husband Jack was given the job of gardener and handyman. Handyman means for all purposes. Husband Jack was given the duty, the job as a gardener in the house, as well as handyman. Handyman for all purposes, for other works of the house. The coal bunker and store rooms were cleaned. All the storerooms and the coal bunkers, the storage areas, were cleaned, damp proofed and painted. Damp proofed means protected against moisture. The moisture was removed from those rooms and the new paint was done. The rubbish from the side of the house was removed. All the waste things, the rubbish were removed, and shrubs were planted. Small plants, some small shrubs were planted. Everything worked out well for all of us. Now all of them were enjoying in that house. The spooky house became a warm and comfortable home. The home which was spooky, which was frightening, which was strange, has become a comfortable place to live in. Now Tom was also very much happy in this new home. That house became a comfortable home for him. I hope, my dear children, all of you understood this chapter. Now you should read the whole chapter twice, 4, 5 times and understand it. Find out the difficult words. Almost all the difficult words meaning I have explained you, but still if you are having any confusion, you can go through your dictionary. Learn the spellings of the difficult words. Thank you.